YouTube, Cool Eyes here, and today I am a little bit sick, but that's not going to stop me for now. I just want to discuss the comic I'm creating, stuff like that. So, as I'm creating a comic manga called Cool Eyes Adventures, and is featuring my friend. This is lagging so badly. It's featured. It's lagging. Hang on. Once it's a live stream, please say that you're here. By the way, in the chat. Anyway, I am working on a comic and manga with my friends and a couple other YouTuber friends, a YouTuber, Mystic Samurai, Ayani on Instagram, and Icon on Instagram. Make sure to follow Ayani with some food on Instagram, and Icon 106 on Instagram. And follow Mystic Samurai on Instagram and subscribe to him on his YouTube channel. So anyway, so the manga I'm creating, Cool Ice Adventures, features my main character, my character Cool Ice. Cool Ice is a cat girl. That's a dimension jumper. I'm gonna explain dimension jumpers later. So Cool Ice is a cat girl that has been alive for 3,000 years, and she's immortal, so she can't die. And she got hired in the dimension realm, which I'm gonna explain that later. To be the hero of heroes, also known as the hero that protects anime heroes like Goku, Naruto, Luffy, those characters. She protects them to make sure nothing bad happens to those characters. And she's also been partnered up with Mystic Samurai, Icon, and Ayani to protect those heroes. So I'm gonna explain the characters. Hang on, I'll get something. Okay, back. So I'm gonna explain each character from the comic. Get up their pictures right now. Pictures. So first off, we have Cool Ice. She is a very aggressive character. She's a cat girl, obviously, and her and the character Ayani. She adopted Ayani when she. And I'll try to get spoilers. I'm just trying to. I don't want to give spoilers, but I want to explain what the premise is, so they don't get confused when they read it. She adopted Ayani as her baby demon she lives with, and Ayani's catchphrase is, "I'm not cute. I'm made to be a deadly weapon," and it's adorable when she says that. We have Mystic Samurai, Cool Ice's partner, and Icon, Cool Ice's partner, is also an inventor. Icon and Samurai stick together most of the time in the comic. Cool Ice usually beats them up because she has a very bad anger issue. But that aside, so I want to explain the Dimension Realm and the rules of the Dimension Realm. So the dimension realm involves the gods, the characters I made up, the god characters I made up. And those god characters are in charge of dimensions, but in their own category. And this is a ridiculous idea, but that was interesting. So the gods are separated to video game, anime, comic, superhero, not superhero, comic is superhero. So anime, superhero, video game, fantasy, and horror. Those, oh yeah, and tune. These are the 6 main god dimensions. And shut up, samurai. I'm not trying to give spoilers yet. I'm not trying to give any spoilers. I want to cut to the chase. So, so they have those gods, and in the dimension, and when depending on which one you work under, they have different positions as dimension jumper. A dimension jumper is a character that goes to different dimensions. Meanwhile, the gods create these dimensions, these worlds, so they can harness their energy to fuel their own world. So they fuel their own world. I'm gonna ignore Samurai right here. I'm gonna ignore Samurai in the chat. So to fuel their own world, so they use the dimension energy to fuel their own world, and the energy is collected. Like for video game dimensions, every time they complete a level, the energy is collected. If in every anime fight or comic book fight or any character development they have the energy gets collected, and so on and so forth. So every time those things happen, they get energy, and they have dimension jumpers to check that energy. Thing is about collecting energy for dimension jumpers is that when a dimension jumper goes to a certain so every time a dimension jumper goes to a dimension, the energy loses some. So in order to avoid losing too much energy, they have to lose so much energy. They have to blah blah. Not form any bonds with the characters or interfere with their work. Even if they're at war and people are dying, you cannot interfere because those dimensions, they will not interfere. So those dimensions will. Okay, I don't know why I started more crying. Anyway, because if I lost my train of thought. Thank you very much, people in the chat. But anyway, so they have to collect the energy, and then their energy when they're in their dimension too much to become part of the dimension. They're not supposed to be there in the first place. They're from another world. It kind of disorganizes the balance. And then when the dimension loses too much energy, it gets destroyed and erased. It just in history. Like as a show, like if a show gets canceled, if a show gets canceled, that means the dimension has been erased. But if the show gets canceled as a continuation, like nothing bad happened at the end, like there's always a next generation, it continues on. So, other than that, I'm texting somebody. So that's how the dimension realm works. And you have to take your job very seriously in the dimension realm. When you go into there, you cannot form bonds. You cannot do much things normal people would do because, it's a dimension realm. And you can endanger a lot of people by doing that. And another thing is about powers, how they affect dimension jumpers. So we in an if you're in anime dimension world or comic dimension world, they only have certain powers, like ice powers, fire powers, whatever power they have. Depending on the type of power that attacks the dimension jumpers, depending on the type of power attacks, it doesn't really affect you unless it affects space and time. Like if it has like a space powers, depending on which situation you're in, it can destroy you. Other than that, that's pretty bad. So anyway, so like for instance, if depending on the rank of a dimension jumper, dimension jumpers have different ranks, as in how much energy they have. The highest amount of energy a dimension jumper can have gives them the power to create life. From 1 to 10, if you're like at an 8, you're start able to create small bits of life like plants. But when you're at a 10, you can create your own characters in your own dimension. Dimension jumpers usually don't get up to 10 that quick. You should be like millions and millions of years old to be able to create your own dimensions. But anyway, so dimension jumpers have dimension energy ranks. And the energy ranks is depending on how long they've been alive in the dimension realm. And if you're at like a 5, if like below 5, you will be hurt by attacks from other dimension beings. As in, if Goku is a Kamehameha at you, you are obviously going to get hurt from the lower dimension rank. But as you get higher, once you're above a 5, you'll probably be almost immune to those attacks. But you still need skill because those attacks will still hurt you. You're still alive, so. So anyway, after Dimension Realm, after explaining the dimension rules, there's also there's something else I want to talk about dimension jumpers. So anyway, I'm thinking. So also, if it's kind of like if you were to change anything too, other chaos can happen. Like for instance, if any of you watched, let me think of a scenario that everyone knows. I'm thinking, hang on. I don't know much about superheroes. I'm thinking of something else. So, if I don't know if anyone watches Fairy Tail, what if I use a Naruto reference or something? I'm gonna use a Dragon Ball reference anyway. So, if you were in Dragon Ball, like you're not supposed to be there, you're a Dimension Jumper, and then you're in Dragon Ball collecting energy. Goku. So if you were to fight Goku, not fight Goku, but if you see a scene in Dragon Ball Z or whatever, whatever the anime is, there's a scene where Goku fights his brother Raditz. And Piccolo holds down Raditz. Goku holds down Raditz so Piccolo can kill both of them. And Goku dies and goes to the afterlife and wants to come back after he trains for a year. And after he trains for that significant, and if you were to interfere, as in if you were to be part of that fight without any of that happening, even if it has a better ending, the dimension energy gets low and causes the dimension to be shut down depending on how much is lost. So if it doesn't go back on the same timeline track, it will be destroyed. Or another answer is to reset the timeline, as in go back to when it all began. Which dimension beings, I've made certain dimension beings don't really do that because it'll be like, it'll waste more energy to reset the whole timeline. Usually they just destroy it. It's pretty much a sad scenario with those characters. But anyway, it's pretty sad. So I'm just trying to explain of how the characters, how Dimension Realm works. So if anyone of people that are helping me work on it has an idea that I battle this character or this happens, we can't control the world and the show too much. It has to have this. It has to have the same. Has to have the same story, same timeline, ends the same as it does in the show. But if you want your character to interfere a little bit, it cannot be too much. So anyway, I'm gonna explain some people's stories. I'm not gonna go into too much. I don't want to add too many spoilers in case I do make the comic come out later on. But I'm gonna explain more characters. So I'm gonna go into backstories now. Let me start with the main character, Cool Ice. So now I'll go to Samurai and Icon. The first Cool Ice's backstory. Cool Ice grew up in the military, but she was a child. She was part of military experiment called Perfect Soldier Project, or PSP. Yeah, PSP, Perfect Soldier Project. I am sick today. Thank you for asking, but I am sick today. Thank you for asking, but I'm sick today. I'm just trying to keep myself occupied. I'm on the couch right now, and I'm very tired, and I can't breathe through my nose. But whatever. And I've been coughing up a lot of stuff lately, so but I'm not gonna get into that. That's disgusting. Let me mean sick. Anyway, so I have slight fever too. God, this sucks. Anyway, the Perfect Soldier Project is when they take several normal people or dimension beings and turn them into perfect soldiers through DNA mixing or surgically implanted tools into them. Thank you for thank you for making me feel. Thank you for wishing me to feel better. But if they have a surgically implanted tool, weapon into them, like a gun, replace their hand or something, that can also be part of the project. So Coolice was project number 10. They mix to a normal person, mixed with dimension energy, and they mixed her with cat DNA. And so the dimension energy gave her ice powers, and the cat DNA made her half cat. That resulted in her. Hang on. Thanks, Samurai. See my point? Anyway, so was this part of Perfect Soldier Project? So she was mixed with cat and DNA and stuff, and she was a child. She aged slower because she's a cat girl. So like 200 years. Where's stuck? So 200 years will be 1 year equivalent to a human's life. So she's an adult, but she looks like a teenager, and that's when the war began. So Coolice has friends in the military and stuff. So after the war was over, during the war she met Ayani, and Ayani was from the dark side, the evil side she was fighting against, the Dark Jumpers. Dark Dimension Jumpers are the ones that kind of like vampire-ish. They suck up energy from other dimensions to feed themselves instead of feeding the rest of the dimension realm. So Ayani was a baby evil dimension jumper. Hang on. Hang on, everything's stuck. Stuck. So Ayani was an evil baby dimension jumper, but the war was too much for her, so Cool Ice ended up adopting her instead. So you can. So she ended up adopting her instead, so she felt bad for her. She wanted to raise her, turn her on the right path, so she ended up raising her instead. So during that time, her because so then they ended up growing a bond. They became like sisters. So after becoming like sisters, stuck again. It's getting stuck. So they became like sisters. Blah blah blah. So after Ayani, so after that, they also became dimension jumpers and worked on small dimensions in the anime world, like cute dimensions, like Lucky Star, Dragon Maid. Not ones that don't collect too much energy. But soon after that, Cool Ice, so after some time they came, and then she met Samurai and Icon. Don't worry. Don't worry, Samurai's not being mean to me. This is just how he is. Like, we know each other. We're friends. He's part of my magnetic samurai anyway, so. Does anyone get that? Don't worry, he's not being mean to me. This is just my friend. He's a friend. He's a friend. He's fine. He's a friend. I'm mean to him more than he's mean to me. I think everyone should be asking why I'm mean to him. But that doesn't matter. So, anyway, so other talk. So I'm gonna explain Ayani's backstory. So Ayani's here I'm looking at something. Yeah, whatever. Listen. Normal toast. He's also part of the project. He's also one of the characters actually he created for me for the show. And when he says stuff like that, I usually ignore him and say, "Shut up." That's all you have to do. Just yell "shut up" and then leave him alone. He can go back to playing whatever games he plays on his YouTube channel. I'm joking. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm joking. Okay. So anyway, so Ayani's backstory is that Ayani was raised her mother was an angel, her father was a demon, but her mother was evil. And I forgot most of it because my friend Ayani helped create the backstory, so I have to remember some. It's hard for me to remember. Ayani also has an evil brother. I forgot his name. I don't think they named him yet. I forgot. But evil brother, evil. So there. So her mother was evil, and her mother killed her. But then Ayane got reincarnated somehow. And then Then they made Ayane join the Dimension military and became an evil Dimension jumper to fight against the good jumpers. And after the war, during the war, she was raised by Cool Ice after. She lost most of her memories. And she lost most of her memories, and but then her and Cool Ice were pretty much sisters until another arc where her brother returns. But anyway, hey, normal toast. I'm mean to him more than he's mean to me. I think you should not be mean to him. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying that I am more mean to him than he's mean to me. Just because I'm not being mean to him right now in the chat doesn't mean I won't punch him in the face when I go back to school. So anyway, so now I'm going to explain Mystic Samurai's backstory, which maybe he wants to help me explain it in the chat because I'm still pretty unclear of how to explain it. So Mystic Samurai was raised by the Dimension Gods. And Samurai barely has powers of his own, like he can teleport and do cool things. But most of his power comes from his sword. It's called the Mystic Katana. Yeah, I have so many cool fans. So anyway, I'm gonna explain Mystic Samurai's backstory. No, I don't even have to explain it because I don't know how I'm going to explain it right now. Maybe he can. Okay. Can you explain the backstory for me, Samurai? Because I don't think I'm getting it right. I'm looking at the chat right now and it says wrong. Okay, you explain it for me, then I'll repeat it after you explain it. It cannot be too long though, so don't hog up the chat with this whole paragraph. Yeah, my thing is stuck again. Maybe I'll do an art video after I'm done explaining things. No, he was talking about my about the story I'm writing about his. Okay, so I decide whether who's mean or not. And whoever I decide as mean is punched in the face. How does that feel? Okay, I think problem solved. Problem solved. Okay, I said he also has teleportation. I cannot give him too many powers. You know this, right? Your character already has teleportation without the sword. The most power comes from the sword, but I'm saying he can teleport with the sword. He can teleport without the sword. His power is a teleportation and something else without the sword. Don't know what the other power you want it to be though. I need one more power. But anyway, sorry, it's hard for me to tell what's going on because my screen is stuck. It's still recording, but it sucks, so I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, he can absorb powers too, even though I don't like that power very much because it's overpowered for me. But yeah, Samurai can absorb powers. So Samurai can now half dimension gods. He can teleport, absorb powers without his sword. When he has his sword, he can control elements. His Mystic Katana can control elements of any type. He's the second strongest in the show. The first strongest is Ayani, because Ayani is a freaking demon from the underworld, which she can turn into a super demon, destroy whoever's there. It's one of those things. So, in Icon's backstory, I haven't really fully created yet either. It's still a mystery what to do. So I'm not gonna explain his backstory until I fully understand what this character's doing. But anyway, since we have some people that like my art videos in the live stream, since I have like a lot of art lovers in the live stream, some people that watch my YouTube videos. I'll link your channel later. Hang on. I'm doing my own video right now, okay? I'll do it later. Anyway, I can't really see what I'm doing. The screen is stuck. It's stuck. It's like the internet sucks today. But anyway, I'm thinking. I'm just going to, okay, so everyone just explain, so everyone please state who's here. I forgot who's here already. Look back in the chat, I want to know who's here. So everyone just say who's in the chat. I'm thinking. Well, since I have nothing else to explain about my comic, I can always just draw pictures now. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Draw some pictures. Okay. So let me get set up for the drawing. So let me just show you some drawings I did today, since some of you watch my art videos. So I'm drawing more Powerpuff Girl characters. I decided to do a new art style. It's like Bratz meets. Yay! Finally, someone's still here. Yay! People are still watching. Yeah, I'm just my thing is broken that says who's here. Like right now, it's saying no one's here, but since people are still here, I'm very happy right now. Yay! So here's I've been doing a new art style. It's like Bratz meets anime kind of style. So I drew Pop the Blossom in this art style. I think she looks really cool. I drew Bubbles in this art style. And I drew Buttercup in this art style. Buttercup didn't come out as great as the rest of them, mostly because her colors are kind of dark, with the greens and the blacks. And it kind of messed up on the face because of the black got mixed in with the skin color, which got me pretty upset, but I'm not redoing the picture because I don't like redoing pictures. And this drawing brick. Hang on. So since I just finished drawing brick, like I did, and I was working on Boomer before I started doing this live stream. Oh God, really? So I know you voiced Brick in one of my videos. I know you did. Hey guys, have you seen that Powerpuff Girl video I did on Powerpuff Girl Teen Dares? Of course, you all saw Powerpuff Girl Teen Dares, as well anyone ever watches on my channel. I'm upset about that. But anyway. Hang on, someone just sent me a photo. Someone just sent me a photo. Hang on, I gotta do something. Yeah. Okay, anyway. I know you voiced Brick. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Where was I? It's on my computer still. I'm not up to date what's going on. Okay, thank you for liking my art style. I think this is a good style. So now I'm going to keep drawing. I was going to color in Boomer. So I'm going to color him right now for the video. Getting a good camera angle. Look ignore all the mess I made trying to draw pictures. So I haven't finished coloring him in. I'm working with Prismacolors lately. So let me go back to doing that. So I'm going to get, let me get my color pencil. So I was working on his boots, so I'm going to get black. Black I tend to use the most. So I'm just gonna color him in with black. The color I use for his outfit is I forgot how to pronounce that word for the color blue. Ultramarine. Ultramarine blue. Trying to do for his eyes. I'm now gonna get the skin color and color in his skin. Okay, Samurai, do whatever you want. Samurai, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. I'm not really talking about my comic, so you can go if you want. Okay, I'll link my channel in the stream later. Okay. Let me outline his eyes. His nose. Sharpen the pencil again. Oh, it's not working. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a little extra detail. Okay. Okay, so I drew Boomer. That's what he came out looking like. Now I'm going to color in Butch. I already drew a sketch of him for the reference. I don't know where I put the sketch of him. Put it somewhere. No, not here. Here it is. Now I'm going to end the live stream. So this was fun, live streaming with you guys. And I'll see you next time. So stay cool, stay freezing. Peace out. Have a wonderful day. And let me figure out how to put links in this thing. But anyway, bye. Come on, in live streaming. Okay. Hang on. It's stuck on. We're even in the live stream right now.